Hello everyone, here's my audience. Okay. Imagine yourself getting ready for bed. You spent countless of hours doing assignments from Canvas and you thought you deserved a good night's sleep. Imagine yourself closing your eyes and you see nothing but darkness. However, minutes turned into hours, hours turned to days, days turned to weeks. You couldn't fall asleep. You tried your best in your ability to fall asleep, but nothing would work, not even sleeping pills. My purpose for this speech is to inform and acknowledge different types and causes of sleep disorders that one may experience in their life. For my first main point, I'll be going a sleep disorder called insomnia, then I'll be going a sleep disorder called apnea, and finally I'll be going a sleep disorder called narcolepsy. It is my hope by the end of the speech to inform and be aware of the different types and causes of sleep disorders that one may experience in their life. According to WebMD 2020, insomnia is a sleeping disorder in which you have trouble falling and or staying asleep. Insomnia includes two different types of conditions, primary and secondary. Yet one experiences insomnia where there is inadequate quality and or quality of sleep that then affects normal daytime functioning. Primary insomnia is sleepiness and perception of poor quality sleep that is not caused by conditions, genetics, or illness. Not just for insomnia, but for all sleeping disorders, they can be acute, chronic, short-term, and or long-term. For insomnia, it is very common to be acute, therefore being severe or very sudden to one's health. Yet there are definite causes that may encounter primary insomnia. Due to primary insomnia and its ability to last more than a month, it causes to life events, such as losing a loved one, moving to a new home, and divorce, etc. These causes are a form of stress, causing a weakness to one's health. Another cause is traveling. Sleep schedules are easily fluctuated due to different time zones that can cause and disrupt sleeping time. While insomnia is a sleeping disorder that involves how one may have trouble sleeping, there is a disorder that I can name where breathing is a factor. For my second main point, a type of sleeping disorder that reduces airflow within one's lungs, leading to lower oxygen intake, is called sleep apnea. According to Medical News Today 2027, sleep apnea, a common sleep disorder in which one's individual breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. An individual may experience this sleep disorder encounter sudden interruptions in their breathing throughout their sleep cycle, causing this involuntary pause. There are three types that may contribute to sleep apnea, which are brain function. This involves neurological control through breathing, and therefore becomes faulty, and rhythms to breathing becomes disrupted, and then malfunctions, lasting 10 to 20 seconds of pause. Second, muscular changes involves muscles of the airway and the tongue to narrow. And finally, physical obstructions involving the airway thickening and having excessive tissue storage that further restrict airflow. These particular causes can lead to further risk factors that may experience. And for my last sleep disorder that we'll discuss is narcolepsy. The National Institute of Neurological Disorders in Stroke 2020 that defects narcolepsy, a disorder that affects the brain's ability to control sleep-wake cycles. I mentioned before that sleep disorders can be acute, chronic, long-term, or short-term. However, narcolepsy is identified to be chronic according to National Institute of Disorders and Stroke, meaning that in other words, an illness pursuing for a long time. According to Medical News Today 2020, narcolepsy is the second leading cause to excessive sleepiness after sleep apnea, which I mentioned before as a sleep disorder. While I was researching for particular causes for narcolepsy, researchers have stated that they haven't found causes that actually found narcolepsy. That is completely understood. But they suggested that there are factors that may contribute to lack of hypocretin, a chemical that promotes wakefulness and regular sleep. According to Harvard University Health and Safety, here is a picture of a normal brain with adequate hypocretin, which is a chemical that regulates sleep, and the brain during narcolepsy when lacks hypocretin. And then for the first main cause, this causes brain injuries, though this is a rare cause. Injuries or tumors in particular parts of the brain that regulates wakefulness can lead to narcolepsy. Autoimmune disorders involve the loss of brain cells that produces hypercretin, which I showed earlier. And then for the last cause, family history. This cause involves individuals who are diagnosed with narcolepsy and due to a close relative. This involves to 10% who are diagnosed. In conclusion, my goal to present for this speech is to acknowledge and be aware of the different types and causes of sleep disorders. I went over a sleep disorder called insomnia, where one's brain lacks control when it wanted to sleep if as it desired. And then for my second sleep disorder, I went over sleep apnea. And for my last one, I went over narcolepsy. Currently, we go over current events where we lose a loved one's death, passed into COVID, and it is best to reach out to a loved one because you never know what they're going through and may encounter a sleeping disorder, which I discussed. Thank you. Oh, wait.